3, 2, 1.
Wow, the delay. I've never done that before on my end.
C1,
Yeah,
did you count and clap?
Yes. In my head.
Oh yeah, I'll be able to hear that in the audio. Right.
I did a flick.
Hello and
Sorry.
Whoa!
I was pumped.
Now.
You interrupted my flow.
Second podcast, so you think you can interrupt the flow? Oh, that's piss poor. Oh, where's the etiquette? You're not counting.
She thinks now she's got her own microphone. She can.
Honestly.
Sorry.
Right. Here we go. Hello and welcome back to another. No.
Oh, Joe, honey, it's gonna be
right,
okay.
Here we go. I got it. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Film Me In podcast. This time we'll be filming you in Evil style. Not because of the Austin Powers films, no. We're going to be looking at Evil Dead. So today I'll be joined, as always, by my fellow concubines. And today I'm joined by my fellow companions. And today I'm joined by my fellow porcupines. My fellow badgers. My fellow little giraffes. Today I'm joined by my fellow film nerds. Today I'm joined by my fellow little ducky eggs. Oh, I should not say concubine. Today I'm joined by my fellow buddies. Today I'm joined by the cast of G-Force. The first of which is the amazing Xander Lang Whiston. Hello.
Hello, I'm here. How are you doing, bud?
How are you? Oh, I'm good. How are you?
Doing great. I'm really great.
That is brilliant. And also, our newbie, who was here last time, but is here again with a microphone this time, a really cool one, sponsored by Amazon as well. It is the wonderful C1.
Hello.
I probably mispronounced that, but hello, how are you?
Hi. You've only lived with me for
Hello.
3 years, but you know.
Yeah, it's been hell. And talking of hell, we'll be looking at a horror film. Yes, Evil Dead. So, no? Okay, let me do that. Let me do that link again.
You know what? It was so good. Good.
Wait, shut up. And talking of hell, we will be, of course, looking at a horror film, that being Evil Dead. But before we dive into that, has anyone got any moans?
Ooh. We do love to moan
got
on
a moan,
this.
Xander?
We do love
We
to
do.
moan
We
on
are-
this podcast.
We are quintessential moaners.
It's British.
I would like to do a moan that is on topic.
Oh,
Actually.
okay.
I
Actually, go on.
would like to moan about most of my moans actually end up coming from Twitter, which is always, you know,
Cesspit of anger.
it's a really bad place. But this week, since Evil Dead Rise came out, I've been seeing a lot of people talk about the Evil Dead films on Twitter, and I've seen a lot of people call out Evil Dead 2013 for not being a good movie, and I'd like to say they're wrong. They're very, very wrong. It's a good movie, and if you haven't seen it, you should check it out. I don't like this revisionist history that we're going through, where like, oh, the new one's really good, well, the last one must have been terrible because it was like 10 years ago. And no, that's just not true.
So, just to make it clear to all the listeners, Xander's moan is opinions that aren't the same as his. So, C1, what's your moan?
God, I need to think of a moan.
It's not like we've been sat here for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, I know. I still haven't found.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. I'll go with what we watched recently, Joe. With the Rocky films. The first two.
You're
are
about
boring.
to offend someone. You're about to offend someone in this call who loves the Rocky films.
I mean, my dad
Who is
loves them. So.
Your dad's in call.
I'm not your
My
dad.
dad's here.
for the last
You're the
time.
oldest of the
I know
bunch. Are you
I've got no
not?
hair, but come on.
Are you not? But the first two, I'm sorry, are boring as fuck.
They are ass.
Do you
They are
mean
ass.
Rocky Best Picture winner, Rocky?
Yes. Oh, come on. You
That's
can't
my
say that the
opinion.
best pictures, half of them, aren't the most boring films.
No, but it's like it's the ultimate underdog story, man. And no, it's not Dodgeball.
I don't see any dogs in it, though.
Like, the moment they get to the fighting, it's fine. But getting there, my God.
I don't care about Rocky and Adrian in those first two films.
Adrian! Adrian! Chocolate? Sloth love chocolate.
Rocky loves chocolate.
Baby Ruth.
Hey, you guys. Yes, thank you for those moans. I have a little wee moan of my own. Slow repliers. Yes, in the day and age of technology, slow repliers are a menace to society.
Any particular reason,
If
Joe?
you have a phone and you get notifications, you'll see that sometimes I will pop up on your phone. If I do pop up, please reply to me because it's essential to me. So basically, my moan is, please reply quicker.
Any reason?
That makes me sound really sad. I'm just waiting.
Joe, is there any reason?
I don't know who listens to this podcast, so I don't know if I can say. But basically, they've made me very angry, and I rarely get angry, but I woke up seething with fury.
I'm slightly worried
my
because I
God.
think I left you on red for about an hour this week, so I'm really sorry.
Yeah, this
if
is
I did
because of
that.
you,
An hour.
Xander. This is because of you, Xander.
An hour?
No, it's not you. It's university related and poster related. So I do apologise if the person this is about is listening, but do better in future. So yes, those are our moans for the week. Some excellent moans. I think we're on top form. Hello, Xander. What do you want to say?
I need to edit this, but I need to know who you're talking about.
And then I got a cut on my finger.
That's your moan for the week. Your cut on your finger.
Yeah.
Man, that sucks. People actually are the worst, man.
I know, right? But from going... Wait, hang on.
From social media hell.
From the worst of humanity to the best of humanity, because they have made a pretty darn good film, methinks. Do you think this as well?
Yes.
Who wants to start? Who wants to start then?
I will.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Evil Dead Rise. Kind of a good movie. I liked it. It was fun. It had the spirit of the originals, which is kind of what I'm after. Because it was a mix of both the originals and this reboot we got in 2013. Because it had more serious horror scares and moments, but it also had moments for like fun, gory kills, which is exactly what you were after. Alicia Sutherland, the main Deadite.
She's great.
Excellent performance, and that is exactly
Kind
what.
of bad.
That is the one thing, like the reboot, I feel was missing from the originals, is that the Deadites, the demons, they like love that give and take. They love the chat. They love to chat shit at you, and really rile you up and bully you verbally, and then like stab you with a pencil.
Yeah.
Really great stuff.
Joker style.
Joe, do you want to say your
Joke
favourite
style,
line?
exactly.
Do you want
Sorry?
to say your favourite line?
I cannot because we're not in the spoiler section yet.
Ah.
I know these things. No, I thought it was great fun. I think I preferred it to Evil Dead 2013. And it's not a spoiler because it's been about, but the title card is one of the best title cards out there.
That was
Title card
such a
It
good
hypes
title
you up for that
card.
movie.
Very dope title card.
It's really cool. As you say, the one who plays the main Deadite is terrifying but goofy in the best kind of way. I was genuinely scared by one bit with her, which we'll get into in the spoiler bit. Even though it was slightly in the trailer,
Yeah.
the extended section of it, scary. I think it was the perfect amount of gore. I was satisfied. Perfect amount of cheese. And I haven't seen the originals, but it encapsulated what I liked about the Evil Dead 2013 and sort of improved upon it. Yeah.
I agree.
What about you?
I agree. I mean, I like the 2013 one, but that was kind of like your bog standard horror in my opinion. This one, I don't know, it did something extra where I kind of left thinking that was just so good for no reason. Like, I didn't expect it to be that good, and similar to Joe, I didn't see the first two, so I don't know, like, if it... Yeah, I'm hoping, because Xander said that it encapsulates... Did I say that right?
Encapsulates.
That one. I'm not going to try to say that.
No, go on.
No.
Good. Oh man, it'll make for really great content.
Encapsulates.
Hey!
Okay, fine. Yeah, because if you say that it did, then that's great. But yeah, the gore was great though. Like, give me a bit of blood.
It was great. It was great.
The gore was great. I feel like this just has that bit of fun to it. Like it has a slightly the only thing I've heard from people in terms of like criticism is that it takes a little while to get into, and it's not until about like maybe half an hour, 40 minutes that we really kick off. But that first half an hour, aside from like the opening scene, it's just like character building, and there's not many characters in this movie, and so you get a really good amount of time with all of them and get to know them, and I really appreciate that in a horror film, caring about the people that die. Like, is that crazy? Like, there's absolutely room.
That makes sense.
There's room for you, Friday the 13th, just like a bunch of horny teenagers with no characters and just big boobs getting stabbed. That's great, but like actually having characters that you care about, and then if they do die, you actually care when they're in these tense situations. You're not just wanting to see all the blood and guts. That's a plus, but you're also like invested in these people, which is really great.
I think that was one of the first things I said to you after the film ended. I was like, yeah, it took a bit to get going. Once it did, it was amazing. I mean, saying that, I didn't mind the character stuff because I actually liked the characters.
Very rare in a horror.
The film sort of reminded me of Scream, the new one, compared because it was in the city. Like the first one was the whole cabin in the woods, which I'm kind of bored of. And it's fun taking things to the city and a more grandiose location. Yeah, so I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think the good half hour with the getting to know the characters, I think kind of maybe added to it being actually better than, like, people can criticize it, but I think that added to it because you need to care about characters to then feel the stakes of the film. So I like the extra half hour with the characters.
I think on an extra side note, this is sort of the perfect horror film for me because I hate scary stuff. Like, I was terrified by the trailers before this film.
Trailers were excellent for this.
I will not be seeing.
Oh, come on, you should.
What was it?
Oh, there was a lot.
No, it was a girl with like really wide pupils, and I hate eyes. It was Stephen King's.
The Boogeyman.
The one with the hand. Yeah, there's the Boogeyman. Then there was the A24.
Oh,
film
look
with
at
the
me.
knuckles in the hand.
That's made by the guys from YouTube, Raka Raka. They do they did like loads of short films on YouTube. I think they were from New Zealand or Australian, but they like all this stuff on YouTube. It's really impressive for just like two guys just making little films. And the trailer for that movie looks insane. They did a video where they showed it like going to a film festival and how it gets picked up by A24. Outrageous! It's so interesting. But that film looks really good. Looks really good.
Very scary, but like in contrast, this one was, although it had a scary moment where I wanted to look away, I love the sort of silly horror, and the gore and the cheese and the.
See, that's it. I always feel like a little bit of a sadist when I go into these horror films, and when something really gory happens, I just giggle to myself. I'm like, I like that clapping.
Here we go.
Let them cook. I was also impressed by like the kid performances in this. Like we get two teenagers and a little girl, and all of them are like well performed. And one of them is trans, and I had no idea. So big shout out to Morgan Davis. Good representation. Just I just didn't know. So there you go. So you guys haven't seen the originals?
No. We've seen the 2013 one, and that's it. You
absolutely should, because Joe, I feel like the originals are exactly the kind of horror film you would want. The Evil Dead it's like very cheap, and I think the word to describe it would be janky. It's like the first one of its kind in terms of like the cabin in the woods, that kind of thing. This is the original version of that, and the movie's gory, it's grisly, it's tough to get through because it's just so exhausting, and it's a proper horror film. But then, like, looking at it from now, you can see, like, there are moments that you can giggle at, and there's because it's campy, but it's like at the time it's like really scary. Evil Dead 2 though is one of the greatest horror movies of all time, in terms of what it did for the genre, and just in the fact that it's so scary, but like still, it's a comedy film. It's a fucking slapstick, two Ronnie sketch of a movie. It's outrageous, but it still manages to scare people, and that's what sort of spawned this new version of the franchise, because that's Sam Raimi's shtick, like bringing in horror elements and just making everyone giggle. And this movie is, I think, the closest to that, like, balance that Evil Dead 2 has. This is the closest we've got so far, because the Evil Dead, that's the original. Evil Dead 2, that's the perfect balance. Army of Darkness is a fantasy adventure movie. Evil Dead 2013 is it's so scary. It's so horrific and gory and violent. It's got moments of levity and cheese in it, but like it's nowhere near this. Then yeah, perfectly balanced as all things should be.
So where would you rank this? Would it be second or out of the Evil Dead films?
I've been thinking about this all week.
Aha! So you should have a good answer.
You'd think.
Yeah.
I think Evil Dead 2 is the top. I have a real soft spot for the Evil Dead, which is the original. I have a real soft spot for it. And then Evil Dead 2013 was the first one I actually saw. And still has me, like, it gives me the heebie-jeebies even now thinking about it. I think I'd have to watch this again to put it over Evil Dead 2013. But it's probably Evil Dead 2, Evil Dead Original, Evil Dead 2013, this, then Army of Darkness. And don't take that to think that Army of Darkness is bad. It's a really great movie that you should absolutely watch.
On Amazon Prime right now if you want to check it out.
Would you guys see like a sequel to this? Would you want to see another one?
Yeah, I'd absolutely love to see a sequel. I mean, I love the vibes of this film. That makes me sound like a stoner. I love the vibes of this film.
Yeah.
Just the format of these Evil Dead films is, just open a book, summon the dead, and just see them commit the most goriest crimes
the most
imaginable.
heinous crimes.
The most heinous crimes. So yeah, I'd love to see more.
Give us more
Absolutely.
horrors that's not in a secluded place, though. It's like if they do it again in a city or something.
Yeah,
Then
like this
you get
is
even more gore.
the change of atmosphere really helped this. Like they do a lot of environment changes in Ash vs Evil Dead, the TV show. Like there's quite a few episodes that take place in like a morgue or a school. So they go into like a town, and the end of season 3 of that show is like it's a whole town that gets overrun. So that sort of opened the door for this. But I'd absolutely love to see more movies take this concept a little bit wider and wider and wider and see what happens. I would also love to see Bruce Campbell come back as Ash, because he's one of my favourite fictional characters of all time. Truly excellent. And such a great performer as well, Bruce Campbell. So I'd love to see him come back, and I'd love to see Jane Levy come back from Evil Dead 2013. There's talks of like maybe merging all 3 of these versions, because we've now got 3 versions of the same franchise out there at once. We've got Evil Dead 2013, that's Fede Alvarez's thing. We've got Sam Raimi's original version that sort of ended with Ash vs Evil Dead, and now we've got Evil Dead Rise here with Lee Cronin taking the reins. So I'd love to see what would happen if, like a Spider-Man No Way Home, but for Evil Dead. I'd dig the hell out of that.
All the main characters with chainsaws just in a line.
Yeah, chainsaws and shotguns.
Yeah.
Groovy.
Before we get on to spoilers, is there any other notes that people had about the film? Go on.
I think it's. I mean, I did ask if you wanted to see a sequel, but like, I think it's pretty nailed on because it cost around just like under $20 million, and in its opening weekend it made 40. So that's a really good start.
It wasn't originally going to go straight to streaming, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. It was going straight to HBO Max, and that's like, sorry, Max.
That's stupid.
Max.
So, yeah.
Drop the HBO. It's cleaner. Yeah, so I'm so glad we got to see this in a cinema, and I'm glad it's putting more eyes on the Evil Dead franchise because I've seen so many people talk about it recently, which makes me very happy.
I think horrors are coming back now, sort of, because they've kind of dipped in the last few years, so now they're coming back, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, have you ever tried to watch a horror film from the noughties? It's a fucking nightmare.
How many
It's
are
like genuinely,
No.
they had no idea what to do with horror films between the year like 1996 and like 2013. They had no idea what they were doing. Like, there's so many bad ones, and they all look the same. I guarantee now I'll go away and be like, oh shit, like one of my favourites came out around this time. But
Wasn't The Conjuring? When did The Conjuring come
2013.
13 on the cusp.
out? Insidious?
2010. Insidious is real good. The new trailer for that came out, the fifth one. Big
Joe.
hype.
Yeah.
We're gonna see that, Joe.
With the guy from Iron Man 3.
Yeah, he's grown
Yes.
up.
I mean, he was in Insidious first, so. And Jurassic World.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was
The
him.
guy disappeared for a
Oh,
few
he's
years.
around.
He did.
He blipped. So, before we get to spoilers, should we? I know you're not completely up to this, Sander, but should we give a score out of 10?
Sure. You guys go first.
Out of 10, how many cheese graters do you give this film?
Out of 10 cheese graters, I'll give this. It was a real good time. You should go watch it.
Oh. So that's about is that a 7 cheese graters maybe?
Okay. I'll do it for this one. This is like a high. It's like a high 8, low 9.
Ooh.
I had a really good time with this
Okay.
one. I had a really good time with this one. And the final act is absolutely outrageous. And I loved every minute of it.
Brilliant. What about you?
I agree with Xander. Low 8? High 8, low 9, because it was just so good. And you can't, like...
Yeah, I'm
Sorry.
no, go on.
There's
go
no point sitting here and saying, oh yeah, it was so good. You just genuinely have to see it to understand.
on. Yeah, this would be terrible for streaming because you cannot get the full impact of that title card on a small screen. You need that big screen to really, thrust you into the film. It's brilliant. I'd give it. Yeah, I'm just gonna copy you too. It's 8 grated cheeses out of 10 grated cheeses, but a very high 8.
It's
Yeah,
almost like we
absolutely.
got 9 grated cheeses.
It's almost. It's a very good film.
We've nearly gone through a whole block of cheese
of cheese
to get this many grates.
in an apartment block.
Ah!
A terrible
That was
joke, and that
shit.
terrible joke is gonna segue us into a film that isn't a joke because it's so good. And we're gonna talk spoilers. So, what's the best place to start with? No, we don't have a Bruce.
favourite
Joe,
line.
No,
Joe,
Bruce.
hang on. Did you not? Did you not do the?
Oh, sorry, I
did
didn't
you
do
not
the
spoiler
countdown.
alert? Did you not do the spoiler alert?
Joe.
Don't do a spoiler alert.
Spoilers. It's okay. It just happened. It's fine.
Oh no, you're gonna
pow-
make me go red.
the
That
pow-
absolutely
The
terrified
power
me.
of editing.
Oh, that's the most terrifying thing about this. You can cut the nonsense out.
I
from me
will.
just
Don't
before
worry.
that. Please do, thank you. Okay, who wants to start? Where's the best place to start with spoilers?
Your
in this
favourite
film?
line.
My favorite line. Titty sucking parasites. That is the cheese that we want from these films. The demonic voice, juxtaposing with that incredible line.
Absolutely.
It was
This
great.
was filled with some great one-liners.
Really
Like for a
great.
horror, it's incredibly. It's funny. It's a funny horror.
Yeah. Well, that's what this franchise is all about, man. It's about
Mm.
bringing the cheese and fun to horror, to all this blood and guts, because it's a bit
Yeah.
silly.
Just a teensy bit. What was some of your sort of standout moments, scariest moments from the film?
Something that always scares me in horror films is old recordings of things.
Mm.
Like when you can hear something, like someone talking, and it's in a spooky atmosphere, but it's like it's really old sounding, creeps me
Mhm.
out. So hearing the guy, the priest talk about it. There is talks of from the director, like a few different ways like a sequel could go to this, and one of them would be that priest.
Oh, that would be so good.
Killing all the
That'd be good.
Deadites, all the other priests.
I was convinced this was like some sort of like meta connection to the priests. Was it the Priest's Exorcist? The film that's just come out.
The Pope's Exorcist. I swear to
So
God.
the Pope's Exorcist.
I swear to God, when I went to see this, I saw that immediately after. I had a double feature.
I was convinced it was connected in
It
some way, but no,
was-
that would be a great.
Kind of boring.
Oh.
Oh,
It was fine.
oh.
But
no, like, that'd
Russell
be a
Crowe
good place
does
to
ride
do
around on a
another
little
film.
bike, so on a little scooter.
Oh,
In multiple
great.
scenes. He's great fun.
is this like was it Luca?
It was
Yes,
like,
like Luca.
on a Vespa.
It's like Luca, little Vespa, who died in James Bond. Sorry, guys. I will say one of the scariest bits was with added voice break, the door shot of her looking through. Now it's in the trailer partially, but there's a bit that's not in the trailer where she just gets closer and closer, and like almost like she's just gonna come out of the screen. It wasn't. We didn't watch it in 3D. I don't even know if it was released in 3D, but that it genuinely felt like she was gonna come out of that screen, and I wanted to look away. I did not like that at all. That was genuinely terrifying stuff. That.
See, I like that. That shot was like one of the first things we saw, where she's looking through the peephole. It's that little girl, man. She's crawling up on that thing. He's like in all the trailers, and she's crawling up, and she's like, "Mom, is that you?" And she's like, "Yeah, no, it's me." He says, "You don't look so good. Nothing that a big kiss from you won't fix." It's like amazing. That's so good.
That's great. She goes through a lot of shit in this film.
She
Wait,
does.
who?
All of them.
Yeah, all
Every
of them.
The
single
little girl.
person.
I mean, but her especially. She gets the Shining treatment in the elevator.
That was great.
Yes.
It took The Shining
that
and
was
put
really
it on steroids.
Yeah.
We got a fun reference to Evil Dead 2 in this, with the eyeball shot. So there's a shot where someone's eyeball flies into someone else's mouth. That is a direct reference to Evil Dead 2.
Nice.
That was one of the moments where I went, ooh! They did the thing.
They did the thing.
Yeah, it's just silly things like that, like she just runs down the hallway chasing after some guy, and then the kid comes back and he's got one arm. It's like, that's so great. That's so excellent. What else? Oh, that bit where she is eating that glass and she's drinking
Oh.
it.
When you
doing
see
like
it in
a
the
net.
That was terrifying.
Grim.
That is
Grimy.
absolute grim. Harumph.
Harumph.
Harumph. I liked the I don't know if it was intentional, but the sort of reference to the Thing with the final Deadites that they go against.
Listen, I'm going to be thinking about that for the rest of my goddamn life.
Did that terrify you?
That was not fun. There were too many hands and too many feet. Not for me. It's just like chasing after, like, it looks, things that creep me out the most, like, one of the things in the Thing that creeps me out is the fact that it looks wet. It's when something's like gross, it's running at you, and it like looks wet, and like you look like if you touch it, it's like slimy. You know what I mean? Like that's the worst thing for me.
The one aspect of that I don't like is it's in this sliver, the Thing, is when sort of bodies combine and then they cannot separate anymore.
Human
Like
centipede.
the flesh is fused, or that. Yeah. I don't know. I just find that I'm not claustrophobic, but that sort of thing would terrify me. Like I'd just be stuck.
I get that.
Yeah. What did you find terrifying? What was one of your favourite scenes, Yuan?
Not a favourite scene, but the constant closing of the elevator was unnerving throughout. It just kept going. And obviously, we find out at the end it's the keys that's blocking it. But it was... I honestly, that was, like, just unnerving constantly hearing it open and close.
It was a bit like the glass door on the Mona Lisa in Glass Onion.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Like, because you think something's going to come of it, and then it's just a distraction for the rest of the shenanigans in the film. Shenanigans.
I picked up on the fact that they said in the recording that the book they have is one of 3 books.
Yes,
Yeah.
one of 3. So I'm presuming this is a different one to Evil Dead 2013.
And the one from the original.
That's
'Cause
how
the
they
one
can
fr-
do... Sorry, that's how they can do your No Way Home thing. Bring the
The
3
crossover,
books.
exactly. I think they're clearly setting it up, and also just to like make sure that no one's confused about any sort of continuity. Because you know what everyone's like nowadays. So you just see, yeah, it's the 3rd book. So
because there are different rules, aren't there?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's essentially it looks like it's essentially the same, but in the original, it's the Necronomicon Ex Mortis, and the book has a face on it.
Ooh.
Lovely.
Sexy.
So then the others.
It's just the book from Prisoner of Azkaban.
Harry Potter.
No, but these are bound in human flesh.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they never said that they aren't like that in Harry Potter. That could be human
blood.
flesh. That could be Muggle flesh for all we know.
I hope so. I mean,
that is. You okay, Xander?
I'm sorry.
But no, they could. Because I was thinking about it, because I can't remember 2013 too much, but the rules were to get rid of it, either set them on fire, bury them, or chop off all their limbs. And I think the recording in this one said you can do those things, but it won't work. So are the rules different with the books?
I mean, to be fair, even in the originals, whatever you did, they would come back. Whatever happened, you had to, it had to be like essentially mince them, otherwise they come back. That was always the problem. There's a famous moment from the second one where Ash's decapitated girlfriend is running about outside without a head. And she just her
great.
headless body's like doing dances outside.
That's great.
Yeah, Slay Queen.
That was amazing.
But yeah, no, like this is. There's not really much to say other than like it's really good. You should probably
gory.
go watch it. Like
Watch it in cinemas. Don't wait for streaming.
Yeah, no.
Because especially with like when the priest talks, it's all around you.
Yeah.
And it's really unnerving because you can hear like sounds behind you. I don't know if it was just the crowd that we had, but there was sometimes.
Oh no, they were talking throughout.
And it was like flashing, but like there was a sound behind us that came from the priest one. It just you need the atmosphere of the cinema to get all the sound.
Yeah, for sure. So currently it's made $50 million worldwide, which on a $20 million budget is really good. So it's, there's no reason.
Doing well.
Yeah, it's clear that people like this. So why not?
I mean, I've just thought about it. It's been 10 years since the last one and this one.
Well, that's it. It's been 10 years since the movies, but Ash vs Evil Dead started in 2015 and finished in 2018. And I know they were talking about making this before the pandemic. So this has been in the works since the end of Ash vs Evil Dead. But yeah, no, I listen, this is what... There's so many horror franchises now that are... there's very few modern horror franchises because they're all just like coming back from the dead, essentially. And this is like this one's just kept going, kept chugging along since 1981, and like and it's still great. The fact that we're discussing which one, I'm discussing like which one's the worst one. Like it's like saying which is your least favorite child, and it's the middle one, obviously.
It's Julius.
No, like they're all good. That's so rare in a franchise. So yeah, no, it's I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes, and also the director Lee Cronin really did well in this. Has really hit this hit it out of the park on this one. Hoping to see more from him, and I wouldn't even mind if he did the next one, because he's clearly got the spirit of the Evil Dead franchise in him. So I back him. I back him in the future.
Well, no, let me do that bit again. Let me get my words out. Well, what I wondered was, because the intro of the film is the whole drone and the just that situation, which is set after the main events of the film, which we get a bit of at the end as well. Do you think that's where they're taking it, or
he said there were 3 ideas for a sequel. One was the priest one.
Yes.
One was following Beth and the little girl from the end with the chainsaw, see where they go, and the third idea was following on from the woman from the start. And seeing.
I'd say just do all of them.
Do all 3.
I'm not greedy. I just say do all of them.
Yeah. Which one would you like? Yes.
Yes.
All of the above.
Take my money.
No, but if they did like a historical horrors are great.
Yes, The Nun.
But if do a
Terrifying.
Because you don't have all the phones and the technology. It's literally.
Sorry, did Siwan just say that the nun was terrifying?
I don't like her eyes. She creeps me out. She's the one. She's the
You've
one.
lost so much credibility because that movie's fucking dog shit.
Oh, I didn't say it was good. Just the nun, the woman. The woman.
Right, okay.
Like her. No, she's not. That scene in the.
No, it's in Evil.
Yeah,
what those pointy teeth do?
That scene in the second Conjuring where she pops out of that picture.
Good scene.
One of the only scenes that has genuinely terrified me. Don't bring up the blinking. Don't you dare bring up that one about the other day. But no, that not the nun film, but the character of the nun. She's terrifying.
I can back that. Back that.
Ugly bitch.
Nasty, bougie, ratchet.
Anyway,
I don't really have anything else to say. Just this was good. Thank you for a good movie. And here's to the next one.
Chin chin.
Cheers, guys. Yeah. If that's all we have to say about the film, I think just summarising it, it's bloody, it's gory, it's bloody good. The characters are great. You spend some about half an hour with them just setting up who they are, and when they start to die in this film, we didn't mention who dies. Ah well, go see it.
Yeah.
When people start dying, you genuinely care about them, and it's fun to see them as Deadites with these goofy lines. It's cheesy, it's goofy. I think it's better than Evil Dead 2013, but Xander, you preferred Evil Dead 2013?
Yeah, it is better. It is better. All right, it is.
Okay.
You twisted my arm. It's a better movie. It's fine.
But the gist of it is, go see it. It's a hell of a fun film. Despite the scary bits and the gory bits, you'll have a blast. So yeah, that's Evil Dead Rise. I think a good place to segue to is the Sell Me Your Movie section, which is a quintessential part of this podcast. So if you want to sell me a movie, a TV show, a game, or a book, if you're a nerd, then please do so right now. Who wants to go first?
Me.
Xander.
Hello.
Oh, Joe, I love you so much. I will recommend a TV show. I have recently, off the record, said to someone that I hate TV now. Because I'm just like, you know what? Give me a movie instead. I can't be dealing with so much TV. Everyone wants TV now. I don't want TV. I would rather watch a film. Saying that, I've been watching a TV show. And it's called Succession.
Yes!
My
mic just went.
I am midway through the second season.
Okay.
And it's like really good.
Yes.
It only really came on my radar when the fourth season, which is the final season, has started coming out, and people have been raving about it. So I was like, you know what? I'll catch it now. Now that I know it's nearly over, by the time I catch up to everyone, it'll be over, and I don't have to keep coming back every year to watch it. And it's really good.
It's so good.
It's really, really good. I'm really invested in all the characters. It feels like a slightly more intense version of Arrested Development.
Never seen that.
If anyone's ever seen that.
Oh, the one that's got the guy in from Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Yes. But if you know that, then it feels like just a slightly more intense version of that. There's the end of season 1 had me like a bit on the ropes. I love Tom.
Yay!
Tom's great. Tom's really great. And cousin Greg, bless him. I hope he's okay. Don't spoil anything, but I hope he's okay. You'll get sucked into this family, and the whole time I'm like, these are like the people who follow, but like, do I like them?
Yeah, it's
I
kind of like
really
Always
like
Sunny.
Yeah, absolutely. Like these, I care about these people, but like they're terrible.
Shit.
And it's given me a big, a lot more appreciation for Jeremy Strong, who plays Kendall. Because the first time I saw him in a movie was The Gentleman, and he is the worst part of that really good movie. He's putting on this really weird voice and these weird mannerisms that I do not care for. So seeing him in this and seeing him actually act like a human being, I'm like, yeah, I could get behind this guy doing more things. So yeah, I would check out Succession. It's you could watch it on Now TV in the UK or Mystic Arts. It's good.
Brilliant. Maybe I haven't watched it, so maybe that's something I can add to my list to check out in the future. Siwan, what's your pick of the week?
Can I do F1?
Yeah.
Yay.
Sports.
No. It's one of the one sport I watch, and it's back after like a month break. Yes, it is a bunch of dudes going around in a car in a circle. It's a freaky circle, but
it's a sort of freaky circle.
It's a freaky circle, but it is so much more exciting when you actually watch it. Genuinely, I'm not just like saying that as a fan, because I went into this thinking this is a boring sport, but I've changed my mind and now I'm obsessed. So give it a shot, maybe. But yeah, I'd say try to watch F1.
I think the same, like everything you just said can be applied to Ted Lasso. Like, football is just men kicking balls about, and then you watch it and you're like, oh, actually, this is really good. I mean, that's not my recommendation of the week, so that was, because it was last week. But my recommendation for this week is Rocky 3 because it's so good.
Rocky 3 slaps.
And the erotic tension in that film is off the
gay
charts.
montage.
The gay montage. I love Apollo. R.I.P. my man. And I love. Yep, I love Apollo. I was gonna say I love Rocky as well, but like, there's only so much of that I can take. I love Apollo Creed, best character. Grief Karga, Mandalorian, best character. Basically, I can't remember the actor's name. What's he called? Carl Weathers.
Carl Weathers.
He's great. He's also great in Predator. He's got them muscles, He's awesome.
And in Arrested Development as well. He's in that.
God, he's in everything.
Oh.
Should watch that show. It's really funny.
Is he in F1?
I don't know. Shockingly.
Boo!
He might have
Boo,
popped up.
he's not in everything.
Oh, I'm
False.
sorry, I lied.
He actually has a secret cameo in Army of Darkness. So he's actually... This is a Carl Weathers episode. No, he doesn't. Rocky 3 is dope, though. I was literally talking to my boss about this movie yesterday. Have you guys watched Rocky 4 as well, then?
Yes, his reaction was great.
Yes.
Rocky...
I'm sickened by it because they got into the fight and I'm like, it's fine. He'll be fine.
Nope.
He's not
and
fine.
Then,
he's not fine.
No.
No.
I jokingly, because when he falls, he does a little hump, and I jokingly went, let's play it back to see him hump the ground. And then Simon was like, why are you laughing? I'm like, what? and then he fucking dies.
He's dead, bro.
My favourite character, and I'm mortified for the rest of that
Yeah.
film, and I'm just force-fed music videos and montages and this fucking Russian guy who annoys me. It's just,
Rocky 4 is 80% montage.
Yeah.
But it's just so 80s, and the soundtrack is so excellent.
and there's a robot.
In the burning heart, it's about to burst. What a tune that is! Survivor. Let's go.
It's also a good film, but
and James Brown,
killed my boy.
living in America. Damn.
Was that James Brown?
Yeah. Oh,
because I said to you, I bet this is a celebrity cameo that is wasted on us because we don't know who it is. So yeah, that's pretty cool. But yeah, my recommendation is Rocky 3.
Mr. T.
Mr. T.
Clubber Lang.
And Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan. Yeah, good
Phenomenal
movie.
film.
Good movie.
Check it out. Check out all those recommendations. You'll be doing yourself a mischief if you don't. Yeah. Right. So, I think that's it for this episode of the Film Me In podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Before we sign out of this, where can we find you, Xander?
You can find me on the Instagram at official Film Me In Pod, and on the Facebook Film Me In Podcast, where Joe lovingly makes posters every week for each movie, and they are really, really great. And what's happening? What else do I do? That's it. Yeah, find me on there. If you have any reviews for the episode, just shoot them over, DM us, and we'll read them out on the show for sure. And if you have any recommendations or episode ideas, just send them over, and we'll talk about them.
Absolutely. Where can we find you, Siwan?
I've got a Twitter that I don't tweet at. I've got an Instagram that I don't really post at. But, you can go look if you want. And I have a pretty cool... I don't know. Can you follow on Letterboxd? Yeah, you can you? My reviews are funny, so maybe follow me on Letterboxd. They're all...
Her reviews are very good.
It's C1Os on Letterboxd and C1ON and everything else.
What was your Toy Story review?
Oh, for the second one,
Mm-hmm.
Tom Hanks put his whole handkerchief into the line, if the boot fits.
Check it out just for that review.
I've only got like one proper review on Letterboxd, and it's for Interstellar.
We saw
and
it
it
the
just
other day.
said, and it says 169 minutes. Nice.
We watched that the other day.
It's a good movie.
It's very good.
It's really good. Might be Christopher
confused at
Nolan's best
points.
movie.
We were confused, but it was a very beautiful film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. And of course, you can find me on Twitter at Cook11Joseph, on Instagram at JoeCook_digital_artist, and on YouTube at Rebel Hoovian. So that's it for the socials. As always, thank you so much for watching. It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure taking over for this week. It's been strange.
Yeah,
but,
man. You're doing great.
We'll go back to regular service next time with maybe Siwan. Maybe you can present, or back to Xander or Hamish or Alex. We've got a real family now.
We do have a real
The
family.
Film
Yeah,
Me
this is
podcast
lovely.
is expanding, and it's amazing.
Speaking of
thank
families,
you so much for watching.
Speaking of families, we're doing.
Are you
Are you
pregnant?
pregnant?
No, we're doing Guardians of the Galaxy 3 next week.
Yes, we are. Exciting stuff.
They're
We're
like a
booked in for
family.
the third.
Terrifying.
Like a family.
Yeah.
That's what I was going for.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I thought you were going to talk about Fast and Furious, but
Oh, no, we're not doing that. We're not. Joe, we're not doing
we'll
it.
do every film is a separate.
We're not
episode.
doing it. I'm putting my foot down. We're not doing Fast and Furious.
Bonus episode for Hobbs and Shaw.
I won't do it. Damn it.
I've not seen a single one, so we're fine on that.
Okay, fine.
that
We'll
front.
do it.
Yay!
Wait, I need to sneeze before I do the final line.
Bless you. Delay!
I'm so sorry, everyone. That's not the way you want this
Please
to end.
keep that in.
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Bye for now.
Ooga chaka, ooga, ooga, ooga chaka, ooga, ooga, ooga chaka.
I can't
Ooga
stop
chaka,
this
ooga, ooga, ooga chaka,
feeling
ooga, ooga,
Deep
ooga
inside
chaka, ooga
of
chaka,
me.
ooga, ooga chaka,
But
ooga,
you
ooga,
just
ooga
don't
chaka, ooga chaka,
realise
ooga, ooga,
what you do
ooga
to
chaka,
me.
ooga chaka, ooga, ooga,
That's
ooga
it. Go
chaka.
back to regular
When
lives,
you
guys.
hold me in your arms so tight, you let me know everything's alright.
That was great.
If this doesn't get us like 1 million views, I don't know what will.